Welcome to DFW Airport's 2024 Earth Day celebration. I'm Sandy Lancaster, Assistant Vice President of Environmental Affairs.
And I'm Christina Martinez with Environmental Affairs. We are excited to share with you our Solar Eclipse STEAM Kit. In this lesson, you will learn about the sun, moon, and earth and their relationship to one another. Did you know that on Monday, April 8th, a total eclipse will cross over the United States? In fact, there are people flying into our very airport to come and watch the eclipse. So what is an eclipse?
I am so glad you asked. Let's get into our experiment to find out.
Sounds great.
A solar eclipse happens when the moon's orbit matches that of the Earth and the sun. The moon moves in between them and blocks out some or all of the sun's light. And the moon's shadow creates varying degrees of darkness depending on the type of eclipse. There's actually 3 different types of solar eclipses. Let's go through those. A partial solar eclipse is when the Earth, moon, and sun aren't exactly lined up. The sun will appear to have a dark shadow on only part of its surface. In a partial eclipse, the sky will go dark but not become pitch black. An annular solar eclipse happens when the moon is the furthest from the Earth and doesn't block out the entire sun. The moon appears to be smaller, looking like a dark disk on top of the sun's large disk. An annular solar eclipse makes it look like the moon has a ring of fire around it, and the amount of light in the sky is like sunset or sunrise. A total solar eclipse happens when the moon lies exactly in a direct line between the sun and the Earth, completely blocking out the sun's light. During a total eclipse, it can get as dark as night. To see all the stages of a total solar eclipse, you must view it from the path of totality. The path of totality is the location on the Earth where the moon's shadow completely covers the sun. So an easier way to remember a total solar eclipse is when the moon passes in front of the sun, it momentarily turns day into night for those in the path, kind of like turning off a light switch.
So let's get into the experiment. Your supplies will have a paper lantern, a stick, a light bulb,
modeling clay, and for the day of, remember those important safety glasses.
and some optional markers.
Optional markers. So you can color.
Yes. So you will take your lantern out and create your sun. Once you put your sun together, you'll twist your light bulb to turn it on and hang it on there to have your sun ready. Sadie, would you like to go ahead and make our moon?
I would love to make the moon.
Perfect.
So we're going to get our modeling clay out. And it's very pliable, so you're going to just roll it into a moon. It doesn't have to be perfectly round, and it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth, because you know the moon is not perfectly smooth.
We have tons of craters on our moon.
We do. So, and then once you get it into a round shape, then you're going to put your stick in it. And you can also color this and make it look as moonish as you want it to be. So this is going to represent
Perfect.
our
So
moon.
this is our moon and this is our sun. Let's go check out the different types of solar eclipses that we have.
All right, for our experiment, we're going to pretend this is the sun.
And this is the moon.
Yes, and we're going to demonstrate the 3 phases of the solar eclipse. So
Okay.
do you remember what the first one was?
I believe it's a partial.
Partial, yes. And in the partial, the moon starts to come into the pathway of the sun.
Okay.
But it's not completely blocking the sun yet, so it casts kind of a shadow on top of the sun.
So we move it around like this, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, and it creates kind of that partial effect.
Okay.
So and then it gets kind of dimish outside, but not dark. And then as the sun gets further, as that gap starts to close, then we get remember the second one?
Annular?
Annular, yes. So now the moon is in front of the sun, but it's not quite blocking it.
Okay.
So that's what creates what we call the ring of fire.
Aha, the ring of fire.
Right, okay. And then in the total eclipse, then the moon is completely blocking the sun. So as I move back, then the moon is completely blocking the sun.
And it covers it completely.
Yeah, so it's like turning day into night.
And that is
in the
what's
middle
gonna happen,
of the day.
And that's going to happen on April 8th. If you would like to learn more about DFW's environmental work, check our videos posted on our website at www.dfw.gov. earthdaydfwairport.com. There, you can also upload pictures of your scientific discoveries with our Earth Learning and Actions tab, or send us your questions with Ask a Scientist feature. We would love to hear from you. Happy Earth Day!